I do sometimes. I mean, I like to think of myself as a soldier who's going to get through it. And after over 30 years in this business, I have learned to tune out the noise and to focus on my work and focus on what matters in life. But there are times when what people say does get to me, and especially when I feel wrongly accused of something or seriously misunderstood. I know it goes with the territory, but I'm not going to lie, it does bother me from time to time. So I guess that's what that song's about, that I can't always brush it off my shoulder, and sometimes I am wounded by things that people say.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place where everybody goes to Hollywood. They want to make it in the neighborhood for all things Madonna Louise, Veronica Ciccone.
Hey guys, it's Tony, and why am I standing on a cloud every time you're around?
Hey guys, this is Michael Cooper coming at you from LA. Los Angeles is for people who sleep, which is what I'm going to do for the next month after the last few weeks of Madam X.
Amazing.
And hey, everybody, it's Stefan. Thanks for joining us for another installment of the MLVC podcast. As you heard, today's guest is journalist Michael Cooper. Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be on the show. I love your guys' show, and I'm so happy you guys are doing this.
Thanks, Mike. Well, thank you for doing this because I know you haven't had much sleep in the last couple days.
Michael,
I was just going to say last couple weeks, but and I was also going to say you guys are a lifesaver in our awful LA traffic. So,
good
nice.
To know.
Yeah, see, most of us, I think, listen to podcasts on the subway or walking
down
the street.
Yeah, so
we don't
Michael
walk here.
Michael's been our Eagle Eye correspondent during the LA shows, and we're very excited to dive in and just get his take on everything that he has seen and heard.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely been an experience, and I wanted to say also I write for LA Weekly, and I have a weekly column for them called Time for Tea. It's an LGBT op-ed column, and I'm going to be writing all about my Madonna experience the last couple weeks, including being on this podcast. So definitely check that out on LA Weekly's website.
Oh yeah, definitely. We will make sure to plug the article, and we'll drop a link in our Instagram and make sure everyone can check it out, because obviously Time for Tea, people just need to look it up.
Exactly. Cool. So what do you guys want to know? Do you have any specific questions, or should I just start talking?
Oh, we will get to Madonna at the Wiltern in a moment.
Okay.
Because we have heard some stories on the East Coast about that. But I do think before we get into all of that, let's do a little bit of This Week in Ciccone.
Yes, not a week goes by without something happening in the world of Madonna, and couldn't be happier about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. God forbid she goes into hibernation.
So what do you have this week, Stefan, that piqued your interest?
Well, I did want to talk about Madonna on L'Officiel Italia.
Yeah, I saw that.
My accents are all over the place. I should do a faux British accent like Madonna.
Yeah, I need to get my ass down to Iconic Magazines on Mulberry Street and get me a copy of L'Officiel. I'm sure it's going to be $25, but worth every Madonna penny.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah,
do you guys know, is the article in English or Italian?
Oh, it doesn't matter. The photos are great.
I know. No, I'm obviously buying it for the photos for sure, but I'm just curious if will I be able to read the article?
I'm sure it's in Italian. Stefan, when Madonna did that really sexy midnight photo shoot at Columbus Circle,
yes,
we were wondering when those were going to roll out. I think these are it.
Some of. Well, but I think when Donatella was in for Pride Weekend, that must be when they interviewed her. Gorgeous photos.
Oh yeah,
Ricardo is knocking it out of the park with his photos of her. I mean, God bless him. I don't know how he landed that job. Madonna, if you need another photographer, Stefan's here.
Yeah, Stefan's here.
I take beautiful photographs.
He also loves black and white, and we know you do too.
Yeah, seriously. So I loved all the pictures. I thought very interestingly, and I'm assuming this will probably be in the article as well. There's that picture of her kissing. What I said,
I forget his name.
Is it her boyfriend? Are we
I
calling
think it's
him
his
her boyfriend?
Is it Malik or
Michael, do you know what her boyfriend?
I know. I don't know which one the rumor is that she's dating, but yeah, I heard about that. Like,
It's the one she's always walking out of the
Mhm.
the stage door with. I forget his name.
yeah,
I know people listening are going to trash me online saying Stefan doesn't know his Madonna facts or whatnot. We get bashed all the time for that.
Well, I mean,
whatever,
whatever.
people.
For anyone that's seen the Madame X show, he's kind of like her man. He's like the top dancer that when in I Don't Search, I Find.
Not her lift man, though.
No, not her lift man. He may have other talents.
Right. And as we've said many times before, we do not trade in salacious gossip here on the MLVC
No, we
podcast,
don't. We don't speculate. We just, he's on stage, and we were just wondering.
We see a picture, we report it. That's it.
Exactly.
We're very factual here.
I mean, and
while we're talking,
I was just gonna say, honestly, I could care less who she's dating. Like, if she's getting some, great. Like, and if if it impacts her music, great. But like, I don't really care who she's dating.
I agree with Michael Cooper. I just want her to be happy, and I want her to get a goddamn night's sleep.
Well, with a young man like that in her bed, that's why she's not sleeping.
Well, speaking about Madame X shows, there is a huge rumor going around this week that there's going to be more dates added to what's already been confirmed. So we've got Madrid, Berlin, and Napoli, which are the rumored upcoming dates. What do you guys think?
Has she ever I don't think she's ever been to Naples before, has she?
I don't think so either. I mean, I'll have to check Ciao Italia's, because she went all over Italy for Who's That Girl, but Napoli doesn't sound like a destination for anyone.
It could be that they don't have a large enough venue, like a huge stadium there, but they might have a super small venue that she could do. How many seats is the Wiltern, Michael?
It's 1,800. So it's actually the smallest. Yeah, it's the smallest theater on this tour, unless any of these that she adds are smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine, though, if it was smaller than that?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm wondering why Naples and not Rome, but then every time she goes to Rome, there's always a problem.
The Vatican always tries to kick her out again. I think she's been excommunicated like 50 times at this point. It's like, what's the point?
But Madrid and Berlin they make perfect sense because they both have historical, theaters that she could, plant herself in for a week or so and, blow everybody's minds. So let's hope that those rumors are true.
Michael, do you have plans to see Madonna in Europe?
No, I do not.
No? So no Lisbon, no London, no Paris?
Unless something happens to my bank account between now and then, no.
Okay, we'll keep checking. Because I'm hoping the same thing will happen to me.
Yeah. I mean, if I win the lottery, sure, I'll go to Lisbon.
I know. I'm kind of thinking. I'm like, there's not enough time to enter the lottery for those tickets and then fly over because you literally only find. Well, actually, depending on where you're going and what time she goes on, you probably could take a late night flight, fly overnight and then land and go to the show. You'd probably be jet lagged as all hell. But.
And also a last minute plane ticket would not be cheap.
Correct.
That would kind of offset the the ticket price.
Well, that's why you're supposed to buy the Polaroid in a US show and then sell it off, and then you could get like a plane ticket.
I did try going for the Polaroid, but we'll get to that.
All right. Well, then let's just start at the very beginning. Tell us about your Madame X experience in Los Angeles, because we are all dying to know.
So yeah, I've been listening to you guys, and I've been looking at her Instagram. So I sort of went in half knowing what to expect, and I still felt that I didn't. I was like blown away basically, and even though I knew so much going in, there was still so much that I didn't know, and then also things didn't play out the way I imagined them. So I thought it was great, and I thought it was actually kind of fun to do that without, having people film it and, looking at clips on YouTube and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you were going into it slightly knowledgeable, but a little blind.
Right. Exactly. And I thought that was kind of cool. So I had planned to go 2 nights. I bought tickets for 2 different nights. One of them I did VIP because I'm like, why not just go all out?
Because you're that bitch, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so those 2 dates were the Saturday, November 23rd show and the Wednesday, November 20th show. But then I won the Madonna lottery for the $10 tickets. So I actually went to the Thursday show before that, like on her first week here. So the first show I went was that Thursday, and then Stefan actually was texting me, and he was like, "You should have your friends sign up." And I was like, "Oh, duh." So I started texting them, and then a friend of mine won as well. So then I got to go to another $10 show. So
see, now you're part of our club because we both went twice for free.
That's how you got to do it. Now people were like, "How are you going to this many shows?" I'm like, "Because you enter the lottery."
Oh my God! Someone slid into my DMs and called me a rich bitch, and I was like, "Excuse me." Spending $10 on a show makes me rich.
I mean, we did buy 2 nights, and yes, we paid a pretty penny for them. And that's why Tony's eating nothing but like dried rice and drinking water. I mean, look, you hear the glamorous side of our Madonna lives, but you don't see us like sleeping, in like very thin flannel sheets and, with no heat on. I mean, it's rough, people.
It is rough, but let's talk about the glamour and the
glitz of Hollywood.
The glitz of Hollywood and Michael Cooper and the Wiltern Theater. Okay.
So how did you love the Wiltern? Is it beautiful? It looks beautiful from the outside.
Yeah, it's super beautiful. I've seen a bunch of shows there. I saw Robin there like years and years ago, like maybe 2008. I just saw Carly Rae Jepsen there in August. So it's a good venue. I like the venue a lot. Usually there are no seats, but obviously for Madame X, there were seats put in.
Oh, really? It's usually like standing room.
Oh yeah. It's usually all GA in the orchestra and then seats in the balcony.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So they put in seats and basically the way the Wiltern is in the orchestra, there's like different levels. And there's maybe about 5 levels, and each level has, 7 or so rows of seats. So basically you can't really get up to the stage easily unless you're in the very front section. They actually stop you. So I did try to go for the Polaroid in the show last night. And they literally asked me before I got to the section in front of me how much I had. And since I didn't have more than the current person talking to her, they didn't let me down. So
you should have just lied. You should have just lied.
I know, right?
But then Madonna would have yelled at you.
Yeah, but exactly. But then what a great story. Madonna yelled at me because I lied.
Yeah, and then the $10 tickets were in the balcony, and I actually liked that I was able to see it from the balcony and see it first from the balcony, because I wouldn't have gotten that sort of perspective otherwise. And I feel like I kind of understood her vision a little bit more seeing it from far away before I saw it from up close.
Yeah, I have been telling people, Tony and I, our first show, we were like 4th row. And when you see it from that close up, you're watching her. You're not watching the show. It's impossible to take everything in because Madonna is like 10 feet away from you and you're just fixated on her for most, except when the Batucaderas come down. Then Tony's focus was all about them.
That was amazing. Out. Hold on. Pet peeve though. I don't like that. So I love that she explains who they are, because obviously, except for like people like us, people don't know. But right when those words come on the screen is when they start coming into the theater, and then no one is looking at the screen anymore to see who they are. So I'm like, I wish she had done it like a second before they came in. But anyway.
Yeah. But so when you see her up close, if you have a good seat, it's great because then you see Madonna. But I had balcony seats and I got to see the expanse of the show, and you get to see things that you wouldn't see up close. Right.
Like the projection for Frozen is just so clear and so huge and beautiful. And yes. you do need some distance to be able to really take that in and cry like a baby like I did.
Oh my God, I did too. So let me tell you about my Frozen experience.
Please.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about Disney's Frozen, people, okay?
No,
which I saw yesterday and I liked, by
Frozen
the way. Yes, I do recommend it. I liked it.
The only Frozen that I know is in a desert with a black wig.
there's some LGBT stuff in Frozen 2 Disney, but anyway, that's
Is
for a
Anna a
different podcast.
lesbian? Is Anna a lesbian?
Well,
Wait, who's the one that has the powers? That's Anna, right? Not
Elsa.
Elsa. Oh,
Elsa.
Elsa.
I'm going to kill you
Yes.
guys.
Elsa. Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
okay.
Okay, yeah. And we digress.
Yeah. So basically Frozen. So, obviously I had heard about it, and I had even seen the clip she posted on her Instagram was like a couple days before I went. So like I had even seen that little clip, but I was not prepared. I was in the balcony. It was my first show, and I even went to that show sober. So I can't even blame alcohol for this. But basically, and also, by the way, and this is no judgment on you, Tony, I don't cry at concerts. I've never cried at a Madonna concert before. There's only one other concert I can think of that I cried at, and it was a Lady Gaga concert. Don't judge me.
Mm-hmm.
No judgment. I've cried in 2 concerts as well, Madame X and Celine Dion in Las Vegas.
I've always wanted to see her. I haven't seen her, but anyway, so I don't like cry every concert, and I've never cried at a Madonna concert before. But yeah, basically, I was sitting there watching Frozen, and everyone knows what it is. Everyone knows how beautiful it is, and I'm gonna try and explain what was going through my mind. So if I sound crazy, please let me know. But basically, what I was thinking and what made me so emotional was I was a fan when that song came out, as you guys were. And I just remember thinking like that, Lourdes was 1 year old when that song came out. And then I just started thinking about like the Ray of Light album, and I started thinking about Little Star, and it just made me think like, I was around then when she was like a baby, but I was a kid then too. I was like 11 years old or something when Ray of Light came out. And, like, obviously it was very different for me then. I didn't, know I was gay. I wasn't out or anything like that. But, I had such strong feelings for Madonna. But anyway, so it just got me emotional because it took me to a place of like, wow, it's been such a long time. And like, look at her daughters all grown up, and like, I'm all grown up, and I'm still here, like listening to Madonna sing Frozen. And like, I just like, I had this connection to her. I had this connection to like my childhood, my past. And it just got me. And I like was ugly crying.
Oh, that's great.
Michael, you know why that resonated with you so much?
Why?
Because life is a circle.
Exactly. No, I was like posting on Instagram about it, and I was like, I literally, that line came into my head, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't say that.
That's why I said it.
Yes. But anyway, so yeah, I was ugly crying, and especially the part where they do the close up on her hand and it says mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like that and that still gets me, like, and every other time I see it like, it's so touching. But yeah, that first night I didn't even enjoy Come Alive because I was still in my head from Frozen.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, because you needed some space to sort of like recover, and it just like launched right into that joyous, uplifting number, and you were just like not in the headspace for it.
Right, which is probably why she did that. But I was like, I wish she went into like Future, because I don't care as much about that. Like, that's not as fun to like. I want to like come alive during Come Alive, but I was just like, Frozen, ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm. No, but pun intended.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but you know what, and I think that's what's great about Madonna as an artist, and us as fans, is some people resonate with some things that she does, and other people resonate with other things. And like where you were when certain music came out, or where you were doing when you discovered her, or like it all sort of like, everyone can take away from it what they will, like, and some people don't necessarily like the Madame X tour. They wish that she would have done stadium or whatnot. But I think if you see the show and you have great experiences, this is it's a very different Madonna.
Yeah. And
yeah,
I've said it before, is that when you hear the Madame X album, it's one thing, it's a work in itself. But then when you see it in the context of the show, it's a complete, 180. It's another journey you're going on with Madonna, and I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah, no, totally. I 100% agree with that. I remember you guys saying that, and there are definitely songs that I didn't love on the album that I loved live. And then I thought that so many of the live versions just made the songs come alive. Like, especially like Killers Who Are Partying and Crazy, like all those songs. Like I liked them, but I wasn't like crazy about them. But then like seeing them live, I just thought was beautiful. I thought the whole thing was beautiful. Like it's, I'm glad that no one had their phones, but in my opinion, like I feel like you could take a picture at any point during the show and it would be a beautiful picture because it's just such a like amazing show to look at.
I like that they don't have it's the a no phone policy at all the shows, but at the same time I feel like if there were more recordings of it out there, people would be more inclined to go.
They might understand what they're in for.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, totally. Like even my friends, like who I went with last night, VIP, they were asking me, like, they were like, so does she just like stand and sing the whole time? I was like, no, like it's a full show.
I mean, has she ever?
Right.
So tell us your other impressions of the show.
Like what were other favorite numbers of yours?
What else? You know what? I need to give props to, I feel like I haven't heard people talk about Rescue Me enough. Obviously, I'm disappointed she didn't actually sing it.
Yes, we don't talk about that on the podcast. we were so excited for it, and then it was killed, and we were just, we still mourn the loss of Rescue Me a little bit.
But the dance break is performance art.
Dance break is heaven.
Yes. I like, so that was exactly what I was going to say. Like that, I thought that was amazing. And I enjoy seeing that every time. I honestly, like, I loved Like a Prayer. That's Like a Prayer is probably my all-time favorite song, period. So hearing it in kind of, its original form and with the video in the background, I thought that was amazing, honestly.
Did you notice how the video's queued up to the vocals, the live vocals?
Yes, because you said it in the other episode.
And I'm going to keep on saying it, fans.
But yeah, so I love Like a Prayer. Honestly, I was trying to think of all the times I've seen Like a Prayer live, and I think this is probably my favorite. I was not fortunate enough to be at the Blonde Ambition tour, so
it's an age thing. You were probably too young.
Yeah, I was 4.
Oh my God!
Oh, you could have still gone. Oh, what a loser!
But no, I think I liked it better than Reinvention Tour for sure. I enjoyed the MDNA's Like a Prayer, but I think I like this one better. But yeah, I did want to talk about, though, it was interesting seeing her in a theater environment because, first of all, she could hear people like shouting, like that's not the case in an arena or a stadium. So some of the things people shouted and some of her answers I thought were amazing. Like someone shouted at her to sing something. I didn't even hear what they asked her to sing. And her response was something along the lines of like, don't tell me what to fucking sing at my show. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then the other thing is that I feel like people didn't know whether to sit or stand.
Here we go.
I'm used to standing at a Madonna concert, right? Sure, maybe for like a couple slow songs I'll sit, or when she's, changing, but I'm used to standing the whole time. And I feel like people thought that since it was a theater show, kind of like a Broadway show, that you're supposed to sit. And so, yeah, there were definitely times. So when I was in the balcony, I was mostly sitting the whole time. I did get up for a couple songs, but I didn't want to block people and stuff. I'm also like really tall. But I had thought that when I got down to the orchestra, more people would be standing, and I was surprised that they weren't. And then in fact, my friend and I on the Wednesday show were standing at one point, and I could hear like the people in back of me making some noises. So I like looked back at them, and then I sat down, and then they were like, "Oh my God, thank you." Like you were blocking me. But the thing that I thought was weird though, is they were wearing like Madonna shirts. Like they were clearly fans. It wasn't like they were just some, like casual random fans who, were just not into it. They were into it and stuff. They just wanted to sit.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a moment and just be like, you know what? It's 12:30 at night. Maybe they're tired and they just want to sit down. But the
No, exactly.
reality is, come on, people. It's a Madonna show.
Yeah.
If you want to get up and dance, get up and dance. But don't poo-poo people who want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to sit, fine. But let people get up and dance if they want to.
Really, all you want to do is dance and sing, get up and do your thing. But when people are, saying like, please sit down, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and again, like, no one actually asked me to sit down. I just saw from their like body language and heard for, their muttering kind of thing. And so I did sit down because like, I don't want to ruin their experience either.
That was very nice of
but
you,
yeah,
Michael.
Thank you. But my natural reaction is like, if I said what I was thinking was to say like, why don't you stand up too?
Yeah, seriously, get the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah, I've been getting reports from friends of mine in LA that have gone to the show this week, and yeah, there have been like shouting matches, and like, I'll see you outside after the show kind of stuff, and I've never experienced that at a Madonna show. I mean, maybe in Confessions there were a couple of drunk guys that went to my seat thinking it was theirs, and I said,
did you fight them, Tony?
Well, I raised my voice, and then they called security, and security was looking at their ticket with the flashlight, and then he's just like shaking his head. So
don't mess with Tony. I was like, at a Madonna show.
Yeah, especially when she's
about to come for you.
Especially when there's a disco ball coming from the ceiling. Don't mess with me.
Do not step to him. He will sticky and sweet your ass.
But other than that, Madonna show is like an oasis of peace and love, wouldn't you say?
Tranquility, people.
No, totally. Same. And I think for the most part, I did experience that there. I talked to some really cool people. I think, honestly, you know what the problem is? Because there was a lot of like shouting and a little bit of heckling and stuff like that. Not so much of Madonna, but like of like the Polaroid person or the beer bitch or whatever. But I think it's that people maybe don't know or don't think that she's actually going to go on as late as she did, which, by the way, since Vegas, she has not gone on after 10:45. So I think she learned her lesson from that. Yeah, she has not been on past 11 for sure at any LA show.
That's great. Maybe there was like a directive all the way down from Guy Oziri saying, you need to get on stage on time.
Yeah, Guy Oziri took a break from Bono and got on the phone with Madonna and was like, ring, ring, hello.
No, that's great because, I mean, we never, the nights that we went, we had absolutely no clue, one, what time it was, and B, what time she came on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my opinion is that people are just like bored. They don't even, have their cell phones. And so they're just drinking. And so by the time the actual concert starts, they're a little rowdy, like rowdier than at a normal Madonna concert. Right,
because they've drank so much because they haven't been on their phone Facebooking.
Right, exactly. So there were definitely people shouting. At one of the shows I was at, there was a guy like a few rows in back of me who was like, he had this like deep, deep voice, and he was like shouting lyrics like along with her, like to the point where like I heard him more than her.
Geez.
But like, I'm fine with that. Like, let him have his fun. But it's definitely like, he was clearly drunk. But
listen, Michael, his inside voice may sound just like Madonna.
Yeah.
As mine does.
But anyway, yes. Yeah, all of ours.
So
right?
Let's talk about, since we're talking about drinks, let's talk about the beer bitch on the nights that you went.
Yes. So, which, by the way, the whole beer bitch thing I find a little bit strange because since there are no screens or anything, I feel like everyone is just, except if you're sitting right there, is a little bit lost as to what's going on.
I think the only like change I would make to that is she should bring somebody on the edge of the stage. So at least everyone in the audience can see who she's talking to. Right. Like it would just seem a little bit more part of the show then. Because exactly. The only reason we were able to see her was because we were directly behind her.
Oh my God, I could see her wig.
It's a damn good wig too.
Well, last night I was maybe 7 or 8 rows from the stage. So I was maybe like 4 or 5 rows behind her for the beer bitch last night. But I was there the night that Kim Kardashian was the beer bitch. Exactly.
I think she's an influencer, right? Doesn't she have like I think she's got a couple followers on Instagram.
I think she has a TV show, but I do know that her sister is an all-time Madonna fan.
Which one though? Because she was there with
Yeah,
Courtney.
Courtney is the one who brought Madonna to her life.
Is that the one that just sold all of her her investment in that makeup company? Or
no,
whatnot?
I think Courtney's the oldest one.
I don't watch the show. So.
I remember reading a story that when they lived in Malibu, Madonna was shooting a video, and I think it was Cherish, and it was near their house. And Courtney and Kim went and watched the shooting of the video from the sidelines, and then afterwards, Madonna gave her like a bangle or a bracelet or something.
How old were they when they saw this?
Like
10?
No, yeah, like between 10 and 15.
Lucky bitches.
I know.
So Madonna talked to her about they were talking about how they used to be neighbors.
That's what it was then. Yeah, they were neighbors in Malibu. Yeah.
Oh, lucky them.
Yeah, and so they were talking about that, and and then Madonna goes, and my friend and I thought this was shade. I hope it was shade, but Madonna goes at the very end when she's talking to Kim, she goes something like, I remember when you and your sisters used to be my dog walkers.
Oh, honey.
Oh my God. What was it, like their part-time job out of school? Like they needed to instead of allowance, they had to walk dogs.
Well, it reminded me, have you heard Paris Hilton talk about how Kim used to get paid to organize her closet or whatever?
Same shade, different day.
Yeah, exactly. But it didn't come across as super shady because they were reminiscing about, when they were neighbors. And so it kind of segued very nicely into Madonna. I was like, yeah, when you used to walk my dogs.
She seems very preoccupied this tour with people and the jobs that they do. I've noticed her, the clips that you hear of her talking to the beer bitch or the people buying the Polaroids. She's always asking them what their job is. And she's very unsettled with some of the jobs.
I think Madonna's looking for a career change.
There was one of the beer. I can't remember if it was the Polaroid or the beer bitch, but
because you really can't see either of them.
Right. He said his job. I mean, it's LA. He said his job, and no judgment for me. My day job is working. I work at a studio, as an office job. But his job was an award strategist. And she did not like that. She basically was like, you need to find a more fulfilling career.
But I wonder, what in her mind she actually thinks people are doing for a living. Does she just think that everyone's, independently wealthy and just happens to come to the show?
Yes. No, she does. She literally thinks I charge so much money that everyone here is rich. Because I'm sure you guys have heard before, too, when people would go up for the Polaroid, she literally would be like, how much did you pay for these tickets? I know you can afford more.
No, we emptied our bank account to come here, Madonna, so we have no more money.
Right. No, if it was me, I was going to be like, no, that's why I can't afford more. But she, what was I going to say? Yeah, the job thing, she actually said, one of the shows, someone was like, their job was they purchase internet domains or something, they buy and sell internet domains. And her response to that was, you guys should really start making jobs up. Tell me you're a marine biologist or something, because your jobs are really boring.
Yeah,
note to future Polaroid purchasers, come up with a really good job.
Well, so I was going to tell her when she asked if I had made it up for the Polaroid and she asked me what I did, I was going to tell her that I was a spy in the House of Love and that I was a cha-cha dancer and a head of state and an equestrian. And so that was what I was going to tell her. But
I would say to her, I work in a very glamorous office. My name is Louise Oriel and I'd like you to leave,
What else? So yeah, Kim Kardashian, the show last night, it was someone who worked on Madam X with her. I actually was going to look up who it was, but I haven't had the chance to.
I wonder if it was Mike Dean, but we'll find out, I'm sure.
No,
it was not?
His name wasn't Mike. If you said his name, I would remember it. But he had worked on Madam X with her and she had known him. And it's so funny because you can tell when she knows someone and when she doesn't, because again, you can't really. I didn't know it was Kim Kardashian for a couple minutes, honestly, because I couldn't see.
It could have been anybody, really.
Right. And she did say her name was Kim at the beginning, but people were shouting so much. I didn't even hear that. So like,
Well, Kim,
like as she
Kim
was
is
talking,
like it's not like her name's Madonna, and you'd be like, oh my God, she's talking to Madonna.
Right.
It's like it could be Kim. Kim who? Kim Kardashian? Kim Fields?
Kim Possible?
Is it Tootie from the
Kim,
from The Facts of Life? Like what Kim are we talking? Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City? Like who?
oh, I wish it was
would have
Kim
been
Cattrall.
brilliant.
That would have been so much more fun than Kim
So
Kardashian.
yeah, I got a report that on Thursday, Katy Perry, who was a collaborator on a photo shoot for V Magazine with Madonna a couple of years ago, was the beer bitch. And I heard the banter, and it was kind of like, did you guys rehearse this? Because it sounds really stiff.
Really? Because so I actually haven't heard it. I have to go look it up now. But
Look it up.
Look it up. I thought the Kim one was kind of blah too. Like honestly, the most memorable part for me was the dog walker thing. But her actual conversation with Kim, I thought was pretty boring. But I also think Kim is pretty boring. So
I don't know. Maybe they need to shake up the beer bitch segment, because I feel like when it was happening in Brooklyn, it was very fresh and we didn't really know what to expect. But now everyone knows what to expect, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and honestly, like I was saying, it's hard for like most of the theater to even know what's going on. But it's funny because again, as you don't know what's going on in the beginning, like I can tell right from the first like word she says if she knows the person or if they're a stranger, because she is so much nicer to the people she knows. Like she's very like she when she started talking to Kim, before I knew it was Kim, she was like so warm, and I was like, who is this person? She has to know her, right? And I was like, oh yeah,
it's her dog walker.
Yeah, her dog walker got. Oh, that she said that too. Madonna goes, oh, I love what you're wearing, to Kim, and she goes, it's nice that someone in the front row dressed up.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, it's recently come to my attention that VIP ticket holders get a book.
Yes, we got it. Oh my God, we got it last.
We saw you flaunting that on Instagram.
Okay, you need to tell us all about that.
I want a page by page rundown.
Oh my God.
If you could just do a story of every page in the book.
I know. I was like, when I got this last night, I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to devote like a half a day to like filming this for the fans. Because
wait, so did they gave it to you when you got there?
Yeah, so I guess I don't know if this happened Thursday. I know earlier in the week when I was there, it was still like, VIP ticket holders will get their gift mailed. And so, we go and we check in yesterday, we get like our laminate and stuff. And then they go, do you want your book now? They go, do you want to take your book to your car, or are you going to take it into the venue? And I was like, what book?
You're like, what book?
Yeah. They go, oh, they're new. Part of the VIP is a coffee table book. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
I'm going to slap you.
Damn.
So it's hardcover. It's like about the size of the sex book. It's sealed with wax. Like there's
oh right, the little Madame X symbol. I saw that.
And then inside it's amazing actually. Like there's all of the like Madame X photo shoots. There's lyrics. There's costume sketches for the tour. There's concept sketches for the stage for the tour.
Tony is literally pulling his hair out right
I'm
now.
shaking my head right now. I have the biggest fear of missing out on that book.
He's grabbing
right
my
now.
hand. Hold on, Tony.
No, honestly,
like Tony.
Honestly, part of the reason I got VIP is because I thought that Rebel Heart book that they sent as the VIP gift last tour was so cool. Like, I don't know if you guys remember it, but like,
oh, I have my own copy.
Yeah.
Tony just found out.
I
about
just
this.
found out about it, and I'll be getting one in the next week.
Okay,
Watch.
yeah. So like, I was like, she kind of does it. Like, she does it right. She does right by the fucking VIP gift. And I was like, if it's anything like Rebel Heart, I want it. So that was like half the reason I even got VIP. And she did not disappoint. I was like literally like dazed, tired, and drunk and high last night at like 4 a.m, looking at this book, and I was like, damn, like this is really nice. I'm really happy with it.
Well, if any of your VIP friends don't want their copy, feel free to ship it east.
So one of them gave me a second one.
Nice. Well, hold on to
it
sell
because
it for a profit.
No. I'm not gonna.
You can go to Naples now.
Yeah, you can go to Napoli.
I'm not gonna sell it, but I do, because I am like, I'm such a big fan and I'm so OCD about my Madonna stuff. I do I wanted the second one because I want to keep like it sealed within the wax and stuff.
Yeah.
So I have one to like look through and one to like keep sealed.
No, exactly. That's what we all wish we would have done with the
sex book.
Yeah.
You know, biggest regret of my life is not getting multiple copies of that book.
I have one, but obviously not from 1992 because I don't think my parents would have bought me that.
Well, it's from 1992.
Yeah.
You just didn't
I didn't purchase it in 1992.
Your parents didn't like the idea that a 10-year-old should have a sex book.
But what's funny is since I've liked Madonna since then, I actually got it as a birthday present from a high school friend when I was like 15, which my parents weren't too happy about either. But better than 10.
Yeah, well, I mean, look what happened to my original sex book. I went away to college and my brother was in boarding school, and I found out that he had taken the book apart. He had ripped out the spiral and posted the dirtiest photos all over his dorm wall. And of course, you know, got in trouble with the principal, and you know, they were ripped off the wall. And I would have been livid. Just the whole scenario, it makes me crazy.
You should tell him to track down unsealed or a sealed sex book and
just to make it up to me.
Yes.
You know? Everything will be fine with our family.
Spend the money, brother, and find me one.
Those pages are not to be put on the wall.
No, they're to like, you have a private time viewing with those.
And we all know how difficult that spiral is as it is. You know?
It's not well, but that's actually, I like that they've changed her books over time and like they've gotten much smarter and much better. Like I'd be curious to see what the sex book would look like if she did like sex at 65.
Well, you know that
might be coming. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I would actually love that.
One of the biggest missed opportunities is that the sex book was going to have a paperback release. And after the backlash, Madonna decided not to do it. And there was still a book deal in place. So that's why that girly show hardcover tour book came out.
Yeah, she had.
I never knew that. I'm kind of glad. I don't think the sex book should have been a paperback. Like,
can you imagine a pocket paperback?
Yeah, like what?
Would have been like Madonna's Harlequin novel.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of missed opportunity. I actually love the set list because I like Madame X, but the only disappointment I had was I thought it would have been perfect to have some song from Confessions there. Like between God Control and the Crave remix, I thought it would have fit in somewhere perfectly, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I was thinking, you know, I've been listening to Get Together a lot for some reason.
Shocking.
I think Get Together would have been really good in there. I'm not saying Future should have been taken out, but I think
I would support
Future
that.
could. But I do think that it could be replaced on some dates.
Yeah,
with a song from
Confessions, and it would be perfect to go from that into Crave, like.
Mm-hmm. Or you could even do Isaac. You could even
Well, so I had a little thought the other day. Strangely enough, I do think about Madonna when I'm not podcasting, and I thought, I know, shocking. I thought, wouldn't it have been wonderful if we had gotten like the journey of Madonna to make this album? So like she could have front loaded maybe like the first 10 minutes of the show with just like bits and pieces of all of her old hits that she wants to throw in to sort of like show this is what she was doing. This is what Madame X was doing prior to the album. And then Madame X the shit out of the show. And then that sort of like shows where she's gotten to. And I don't know, it was a fleeting thought. It was a way for me to think of her cramming some more hits in.
Yeah. I mean, I told my friends that I was going with, I was like, look, this is not a greatest hits tour. This is the Madame X tour. So expect to hear a lot of Madame X. Which I'm fine with, but yeah, I get that, you know, more casual fans don't like that as much. But I love Confessions, so I was dying to hear something from Confessions, especially because I feel like there hasn't been a good version of any Confessions song live in a really long time.
Yeah, what song would she have done off of Confessions, considering the album? I'm trying to think of what message, because a lot of those were like party songs.
Yeah, I mean, I think Get Together would fit in nicely. And, you know, Isaac has that Middle Eastern flair that would kind of blend into Come Alive.
Get Together into Come Alive.
Yeah.
There we go.
There, yeah. I mean, even Sorry's fit some of the, like, you know, Me Too, Human Nature themes. But
true.
Wait.
Hashtag time's up.
Right. Okay. So I have a couple more quick stories about some LA stuff.
Please feel free.
So Polaroid moment, another night. I appreciate the fan who did it because I feel like he fell on the sword for all of us. So this was the night it went for about 4,000, I think, and he actually had the guts to ask her something I was wondering but would never ask her, which was, "Can you sign the Polaroid?" Yeah,
Oh,
and she said, "Oh, fuck off," which I thought was brilliant. She goes, "The Polaroid should be enough."
Oh my God, Madonna's turning into Sandra Bernhard.
Oh God, I'm sure Sandra Bernhard would be annihilated to hear that.
But I loved it because, like, we were all thinking that, and I love that he asked her, and and it was the reaction we all knew she would give, but he was the one that fell on the sword to get it. So, so I love that moment. And then what was the other thing I was going to tell you guys? It'll come back to me. But
were you schmoozing with celebrities? Like, did you pee next to somebody that famous?
Yeah, were you sitting on Jimmy Kimmel's lap?
Yeah, give us some deets.
Yes, all of the above. No, I'm just kidding. So
you had some private time in a bathroom stall with some unnamed celebrity, but you'll give us a hint.
Yeah, I'll tell you when we stop recording.
Carol.
So disclaimer: I'm so crazy about Madonna that when I'm at a Madonna show, I'm not as aware of like the people around me. So most of the celebrities that I saw were because like my friends pointed them out, not because I can't spot them, but just because like I'm just not looking. So we saw a friend of the podcast, Guillermo. He was at one of my shows.
Yay!
Yeah, my friend actually went up to him. He's super nice.
Yeah, Guillermo was great.
Yeah, I didn't because again, like I'm there for Madonna. I don't really. But so he was there one night. My friend also saw Alan Ball. Do you know who that guy is?
Oh yeah, he did 6 Feet Under and American Beauty.
Show.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was there one night, and we saw. I don't know if you guys know there's this famous drag show in Vegas called like Divas or something.
I think it's called Legends.
Yes. So the guy that's his show. He like does Joan Rivers in the show and stuff. He was there.
I think his name is Frank Marino.
Yes, that's exactly what his name is.
Thank you. Tony is prepared.
Yeah.
I've seen the show. He does a great
Tony
share.
knows.
He does a really good share.
Yeah. So he was there. He was actually 2 rows in front of me in VIP yesterday, and he did not stand at all.
Well, he's in heels all the
time. His feet hurt.
But I mean, it was fine. I was in back of him, so it's not like my standing was bothering him. So I saw him. Obviously, Kim Kardashian and Kourtney were there. Who else did I see?
No, well, question about the Kardashians. Did you see if they were like sitting there waiting the whole time, or did they like swoosh in at the very last minute?
I didn't see, but I believe they swooshed in because that the seat where Kim was really awkward. Like it clearly was not her regular seat. And then she made reference to Kourtney being in back of her. So I think their seats were actually like a row or two in back.
Row, right? Yeah.
I see.
So obviously there was celebrities. I heard a rumor that Christina Aguilera went, but I don't think that's true.
Ooh. She would have had her up in one of the chairs, right?
She would have, definitely.
Yeah.
So in addition to the tour book that you received because you are a very important person,
coffee table book.
Yeah, coffee. Oh, I stand corrected. Coffee table book. What other merch did you buy, and what merch do you like?
Oh, so I actually have a story with that too. So I bought the tour program. I bought the sleeping mask, and then Stefan, I bought the tour jacket.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't regret it.
Oh, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. But here's the thing, and I want your guys' honest opinion, and there's no judgment. So when I went to go,
we'll see. We will see about that, Michael.
When we went to go buy the merchandise, I did it. I did it all on my first night that I was there, so I didn't have to deal with it the other nights. And so I bought the jacket with these other things, and then they tell me my total, and it's like 100 something. Like it's not. The jacket was clear. Yeah, something. The jacket was clearly not included. And my friend was standing right next to me, and she gave me a look. And I thought that look was, you should be honest and do the right thing. So I did, and I told them, hey, I don't think you included the jacket. And they go, oh, shoot. then they
Oh
fix
my
it, and then they
God.
go, oh yeah, big difference, huh? And then
Can you? Oh, so you almost got a free tour
yes,
jacket?
and
But you would have felt bad about it.
Well,
though.
okay,
You sound like an honest kind of guy.
so my friend was like, after we left the booth, my friend was like, "Why did you say anything?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you gave me a look. I thought you would judge me if if I didn't say anything." But she tried to make me feel better, and she was like, maybe you'll have good karma. And then guess what?
Yeah.
The next day is when I got the second $10 tickets. So I was like,
There.
Yeah.
See, there. I was gonna say that Madonna karma would have slapped you in the ass. You would have I don't know what would have happened, but it wouldn't have been good.
yeah.
Madonna karma is a real thing. I will talk about it in a future episode, but yeah,
So-
don't mess with it.
So what would you guys have done?
I would have said something because I get nervous around things like that, and I probably would be living with the guilt.
Oh,
and,
yeah, totally.
But I think Stefan would have just ran.
No,
out of it.
that's not true.
Well, since you actually
I
bought one like me, so like honestly, would you? And no judgment if you hadn't, because I kind of regretted it after too.
No, I think I would have been one of those people that like if I was ringing it up with other items and they weren't charging me for it, I would have been like, no, I think you have to charge me for this. Like when I buy something from Chipotle and they don't add the guac charge on, I tell them about the guac charge. Like it's $2, and I'm like, no, you have to put that on.
But does it make a
Because-
difference that this isn't $2? This is
look, trust me,
$350.
it is a lot of money for that tour jacket, and that tour jacket does not cost $350 to make.
No.
It's probably like $10.
Okay, but I want to know from Michael Cooper, like, how do you like the fit? Are you happy you bought it?
Do you like the red versus the black?
Which one do you wear? Red during the day, black at night?
like an evening look, a day look.
like if you go to WeHo, is it black or
Are you parading around in it in your pajamas?
Whoa,
is it
whoa,
warm
guys,
when it gets cold at night?
I don't believe Stefan has answered all these questions about his jacket yet. But
no. Tony hears me before we podcast, and he's heard more than enough about the tour jacket.
So first of all, I do have to say, I don't know if this was the case in BAM, but I did not wear my tour jacket at all in the theater because it was ridiculously hot. And I know
I keep hearing that about LA.
Yeah, I know she doesn't. I know
I
she
sweated my ass off wearing that tour jacket, just so you know, because it was warm weather when we were going to Madame X, and it got cooler towards the later shows. But the first two shows, I was sweating my ass off, and I was like, I don't care. I've paid enough money for this jacket, and I'm wearing it.
I sweat easily, and I was like sweating every single night. It was so hot in there, and I know she has a thing about AC, and I know it's been hot in other tours, but I think it's different in an arena. Like there's more air circulation. And I hadn't heard this out of Chicago and BAM. So I don't know if the Wiltern was especially hot. But it was like everyone was on the same page. Like, so I pretty much wore shorts and a tank top to every single show, even though I didn't really want to, because I was just like, I want to be as comfortable as I can. But like people passing by me were like, oh, I see you got the memo, as they were like fanning themselves and stuff. So
were people dressed up?
Yeah, there was a few. Actually, my friend who I went with on the first night for the $10 tickets, dressed in this like Material Girl inspired outfits, and it was really awesome. There was a few people who were dressed up, and there was a lot of people who were dressed nice, but again, I think they were regretting that because it was so hot in there. But yeah, so the tour jacket. So I did not wear it in any of the shows, but I think it depends what I'm wearing, whether I like the red or the black side. I kind of like them both, honestly. And that's what I keep telling my friends when they say how crazy I am about spending $350. I was like, it's a reversible jacket. So I really just spent $175 on each one.
You sure did.
And every time you wear it, it gets cheaper. You divide the price of the coat by how many times you wear it, and that's how much it costs. So wear it 100 times and it'll be $3.50.
Now, I don't know if you guys noticed in the Instagram video on Madonna's feed, the day that the Kardashians were there, she's wearing a jacket that is not for sale, and I want it.
I want that. I know. Madonna has to stop wearing jackets, period, because I'm telling you, it started with Desperately Seeking Susan, and ever since then,
the Blonde Ambition tour jacket. Oh my
God! That's why I'm so happy that I got the Madame X jacket, but that's it. No more jackets, Madonna.
And that was one thing too. She put on a fur one of the nights I was there. It was the first night. No no one came up for the Polaroid at first on the first night. The first night I was there, not the first night of the tour of the LA shows. And so she was like, I'm going to sit here and wait. And then she was like, can someone bring me out my jacket? And she said it was fake, but it was this big fur jacket. And then she was like, there's a draft in here. And literally the entire theater was like, no.
Madam X is a comedian.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think that kind of covers it as much as we can in the time of this podcast. But it was an amazing experience, and having that moment for me with Frozen, like I'm always gonna now remember this show and this tour. And yeah, honestly, like I think my all-time favorite Madonna tour that I've seen is Confessions, and it probably will always be. But I honestly think this was probably, even though this isn't comparable to her other tours, this is probably my second after Confessions now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
so
I loved it.
So yeah, LA ends on Monday night. That's November 25th. And then Madam X is going to celebrate Thanksgiving, and then she'll be going to Boston after that. Which, yeah, it seems kind of like an odd choice, but she'll be doing Boston, Philadelphia, and I'm getting the feeling that Stefan will somehow end up in
No, don't. I'm trying not to think about. I know Philadelphia's my hometown, and I'm like, I always see her in Philly, and I have such good experiences with her in Philly, and it's sort of killing me to not go. But never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah,
Anything's possible.
People, if you're listening to this podcast and you have a free ticket that you want to give to somebody, Tony and Stefan would appreciate it.
Yeah, support your local podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I told you yesterday, like I'm still tempted to get some kind of cheap ticket for the last show tomorrow night, unless I win the $10 one again. But
send that selfie in.
I did. One other thing I wanted to tell you guys. So you guys saw Nikki and Donna, right, when they were in?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. Just give us your quick impressions on the Nikki and Donna show, the venue in LA, because I'm interested in seeing
where'd they have that?
Where do they have it?
So it was in this lounge in a hotel in WeHo called the Standard. I didn't even know they had this lounge in there. It was a pretty cool little space. Like I liked the venue, and it was actually hot in there too. I was like, is Madonna making an appearance here? But yeah, I mean, they sounded amazing. They did. I don't know what they did when you guys saw them. I'm assuming it's probably similar. They did a lot of, original songs, and then little bits and pieces of they did little bits of Causing a Commotion, Live to Tell, Open Your Heart. Oh, and then the kid from the Open Your Heart video, Chris, was there, and they brought him on stage.
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
Oh, he's in his 50s, it looked like. 40s, 50s, I guess. It's on my Instagram. No. Oh. Sorry. At least not to me. Some people maybe. But yeah, so he was there. And then, of course, they did Rain. The one disappointment I had was they call it Songs and Stories, and I wanted some more and some better stories.
But see, I think a lot of people are going there thinking that they're going to dish about Madonna, and it's like they're sort of just introing certain songs by saying we've toured around and we've had these great experiences, and it's sort of fun to hear them sort of relive those moments. But yeah, they're not being salacious, which I think is good.
Yeah, I mean, what I took away from the show is that this is a celebration of their friendship that spans, 3 decades, and. I mean, just to see them together is enough of a gift, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. No, I loved it. And question, though, I don't know if they ended their show for you with All Through the Night by Cyndi Lauper, which I love that song. But is that shade that they closed with a Cyndi Lauper song?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was an odd choice, too. I was like, not Time After Time, but...
Or not Madonna.
Right. Or maybe they're... Yeah. I'm obviously, we love them, but we're also there because we love Madonna. Why not close with a Madonna song?
But I did have a thought, though. I thought, are they kind of doing a sneaky audition for a slot in the True Colors tour? Because
you never know.
You never know. And actually, I'm sure you know about this. The True Colors concert is going to be in LA this year, and the lineup is amazing.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try and cover that for LA Weekly. Otherwise, I probably
what is it?
can't
Is it
afford
like a festival?
Well, no, it's Cyndi Lauper does the show every year. It's the True Colors concert, and it's for for various charities. But she invites all her friends to come and do performances. This year it's like Belinda Carlisle and I forget who else, but it's an enviable show. I mean, I'd love to go see it, but you're going to be there, Michael Cooper, and I want you to report your ass off.
Yeah, if they let me in, if they credential me.
Just
yeah,
flash
definitely.
that tour jacket and your little badge, and in you go.
So briefly before we go into your Madonna journey, you also attended the Like a Prayer documentary screening in LA, which I know that they're touring it around the country. What did you think?
I loved it. I mean, I thought that, it was actually kind of cool because I had heard some of their stories on your podcast before I saw the screening. So I already knew these people. It felt like, but yeah, especially that the last story about the kid who she, flew to go see her in, I think it was the Philippines.
Yeah, in the Philippines.
Yeah, like that was an amazing story. And that made me so happy. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was a cool project and I definitely enjoyed it. There wasn't a ton of people at the screening, but there was a handful of people.
Very cool. So tell us about your Madonna journey. How did you become acquainted with this lady that likes to take your money?
I know, right? I know. I was like $10 tickets. Thank you for giving a little back to me.
Yes.
Like
No,
after
I
all
totally
these years.
Agree. I was telling everyone, I was like, I feel like after all these years of supporting her and, just blindly giving over money, we get this opportunity as fans to just kind of show up for her. And
yeah, I think that's, I
$10,
honestly think, I think that's amazing. And it actually, I think is like really awesome of her because I don't think she does that a lot.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the one thing I loved about when we went to I'm blanking on the tour, MDNA, when they had the Golden Triangle. I loved that because you just had to win those tickets.
Yeah, and I think that with the tickets they gave, they were 4 rows from the top, but I was like, hey, at least you didn't give us the last row.
Yeah. You're in the room for $10. That's,
exactly. Yeah, I was like, like coworkers and stuff thought I was crazy. I was like, you don't understand. I will see Madonna as many times as I can for $10.
That's funny you mentioned your coworkers because every day people would ask me like, are you okay? I was like, no, it's the Madonna last night again. And it just turned out that all the shows I went to see, well, actually, except the 2 Saturday night shows, they were, during the week, and it was rough.
Yeah, I had 2 next day. Yeah, 2 weeknight shows, 2 weekend shows, and the weeknight shows were definitely rougher. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say about the Like a Prayer screening. Like, all power to the people who were spotlighted there because, like I said at the beginning, like I've done 4 shows now, and I am like exhausted. So I do not know how they go to so many shows. But all power to them.
Yeah,
they live a nocturnal existence.
I know, as does Madonna, apparently.
Yes.
But anyway, okay. So my Madonna journey. So it's actually kind of like weird and funny. So my parents we're Jewish and I'm gay, but they're very big Republicans. So I grew up listening to like the Beatles and country music, pretty much, and that was it. Except they liked Weird Al Yankovic. And so my first exposure to actual popular music.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, came from Weird Al. And so literally the first albums I bought myself were because, I had heard this, Like a Surgeon, I think it was.
Yep, that was
yeah. So I went to, I think it was called Warehouse back when there were record stores. And I went and I bought the Like a Virgin album and I bought the Immaculate Collection. And those were
the very good start, Michael.
Yes. And like those are and I feel like, what was that line that Sean Hayes says in the Will and Grace episode Madonna's in to her? Like he says something like, as a gay man, I'm oddly drawn to you or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
same.
So I feel like that was kind of it. Like, Weird Al was my gateway, but like I was just drawn to her. And so then, I kept buying more and more albums and, videos and stuff like that. And this was around when I was like, I I would say 8 or 9. Like I was lucky enough I liked her enough that I saw Evita in the theaters. Like, and I was 10 then. And actually
Oh.
funny story. I remember I got sick after, like I got like a flu or something, and I was starting to get like a fever in the theater, and I was really hot. And so I remember my mom talking to someone after they found out I was sick, and she was like, "Yeah, I just thought he was having the hots for Madonna." Like, yeah, no. But yeah, and then
That wouldn't have been the movie that you would have gotten the hots for.
I know.
Like maybe Body of Evidence, or like maybe even
Dick Tracy.
Totally Dick Tracy.
She's wearing black underwear.
She's wearing black underwear.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Also,
not Evita, like
I know. Also, I love her, but I probably don't not in that way.
Her.
Yeah. But anyway, the first tour I saw was Drowned World.
Good. Well, that's a good one to start with.
Did you see it in LA, Michael?
I saw it in LA, and actually, I forgot whose story it was.
It was Israel.
Yes. So I actually saw. I think his concert was the one that was postponed from 9/11.
Right.
My concert was the first one after 9/11.
Oh, wow.
So my concert was on September 13th. I still remember. And I remember that there was a question on if it was going to still happen or not, because she had postponed the one on the 11th. But yeah, she obviously still did it. And I went with my dad because I was like 14 or 15 years old. So yeah, I went with my dad to the concert, and I just remember it had just aired on HBO. So I had just seen it on HBO like 2 weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember pointing out to my dad, like, all of the differences that she did because of 9/11. Like she, how like in that one part in the beginning, she like shoots the dancer. So like, she didn't do that. She like picked up the gun.
She just put the gun down, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So like, that was all kind of interesting. And yeah, so Drowned World was my first tour after that. And
wait, I have a question. What did your dad think of the pornographic anime interlude?
I don't think we talked about it.
It was a very quiet ride home.
I honestly I mean, it was 2001. So first of all, I feel like the LGBT community, especially for a Republican family who didn't have any other gay people in the family, like, it wasn't very much on their radar. So the whole evening for him was probably very, where the hell am I?
Right.
Yeah.
But also she's also like a legend, and she was already like an icon at that time.
Yeah.
So, and he likes music. So he was also a little bit excited to be like, well, I get to see Madonna. I actually asked him recently about it, not about the Japanese anime specifically.
Right.
And he said he doesn't really remember any of it at all. So,
well, you know what? If you think about it, though, Drowned World was not particularly gay. I mean, there's no Vogue.
No, exactly.
But there was some great anthemic Madonna songs.
Oh,
in that show.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I mean, there was nothing campy. It was very serious.
Oh no, it was not camp.
It was very artsy.
Well, maybe the little funny song that she did.
Oh, that was so weird.
That's just weird.
Yeah, but no, I'm even talking about like not even the show, like the crowd.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. What else do you guys want to know? I mean, after that, it's kind of
it was just love at first sight. After you just were addicted afterwards, and you couldn't stop.
Yeah, and I mean, Ray, like I said, Ray of Light was the first album release I experienced, and that was really fun. I literally remember coming home from school every day and checking TRL to see like what number it was on, and like the
I did
music
that too,
video.
but I was coming home from work.
And I remember, sorry, and I also remember funny Polaroid moment. Oh my God! By the way, there are fake Polaroids in the back of the coffee table book. There are 3 fake Madame X Polaroids.
Like pictures of her, but they're not real.
Right. They're like, but they look like Polaroids. I'll send you guys a picture of them. I thought that was hilarious.
I have another Polaroid story. So my friend David went, I think last Tuesday, and he was in the front row, and he got a Polaroid from I Don't Search, I Find that flew out from the stage.
That's so awesome.
But
what did it actually look like?
It's a Polaroid of Marvin, one of the dancers in that song.
Boo.
But it's still a Polaroid Madonna took.
No, I want a Madonna Polaroid.
By the way, the Polaroid, the show before last night, went only for 1,000, and I wasn't
heard.
there.
I know it was cheap.
Yeah, I would have definitely bid on that.
You'd think with the celebrities there, they'd be doling out like 10 grand.
I'm gonna wait until the Polaroid's $1.99.
I don't think they know. That's what I was thinking too, but I feel like they don't know, and no one just carries that much cash on them.
I honestly, Philadelphia, it's going to be prime opportunity because people in Philadelphia are not going to pay thousands of dollars. Like they're just going to be like, I'll give it to you for $20.
I'll give you a cheesesteak for it.
Yeah. Oh my God, can you imagine? Okay, so as we do with every guest on the podcast, we have
Stefan's famous rapid fire.
Is it really?
Oh,
famous?
I know. I love.
Famous?
This is honestly some of my favorite parts of.
It's lightning round. It's lightning.
Yeah.
The Madonna lightning round. We can't have a guest on and not do the Madonna lightning round. So without thinking too hard, it's wherever you're at, Michael, in your Madonna journey today, just off the top of your head. So, top 5 favorite Madonna songs.
Okay. Can I give you 7?
Yes.
Sure.
We'll make an exception.
Sure, we will make an exception.
Thank you. Because so like my all-time favorite 4, and they will always be my 4 favorite Madonna songs are "Like a Prayer," "Ray of Light," "Deeper and Deeper," and "Vogue."
So those are locked. Those are locked.
Those are
in.
locked. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
exactly.
then the 3 variables today.
So the 3 variables: Frozen for obvious reasons, and then ever since she opened the Madame X tour, and I read about human nature and American life, I've been listening to those a lot because I really like the fact that she sort of, reimagined them for today and made them not only showed that she was talking about these issues like Time's Up 25 years ago, but it's still relevant today. And I really enjoy that. And so I've never actually been a huge fan of the American Life song, and now I love it. I feel like she totally reinvented that song for me, in a new light in 2019.
I love that she sort of brought that back too, because it's amazing how far we've not come in the time.
Right. And also the rap, I feel like is that at this point we can say it's campy and fun. And at the time we were like, what is going on?
Yeah. It's honestly I love that everyone loves that rap now, because when she first did it, people were just like, no. Right.
Exactly. The whole song, I was kind of I was like, it's okay. Especially then when she killed the amazing video. And then, but now I love it. And I literally can't stop listening to it. So I would say those are my 7 songs right now.
Okay. We'll allow it this one time, Michael.
Thank you. I appreciate
Future
that.
guests do not get crazy. Okay. Because it's 5. What are your top 3 Madonna tours? Even if you've not seen them all.
Live.
Okay,
live, in person.
Okay, well, that would probably then be Blonde Ambition, because I just think that's iconic. And I know your other question is favorite Madonna look, and that is my favorite. The classic, gold corset from the first act is that's my favorite all-time Madonna look, even ponytail or curly.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it ponytail? It's very divisive.
Yeah. No, I like them both.
It's the ponytail camp or the curly hair camp, and I don't know if you listened to the Work podcast that Louis Extravaganza hosts. They had Carlton on the show the other week, and they talked about how she changed the hair because it was pulling too much, and it was starting to wreck her actual hair. So that's why she went to the curly hair, because she wanted to keep the ponytail, but it was just too much.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think both look good. But did you notice that? So they were at one of the LA shows. I was not at that show, but they were at, Carlton, Kevin, and Louis.
Yes, it was a Blonde Ambition reunion.
Yeah. Did you know, I don't think they saw her though, because they had pictures with all the dancers and stuff, but not Madonna. I thought that was I wish that they had gotten to see Madonna.
I don't know how she handles who goes backstage, because
only Kim Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian apparently have gone backstage.
And plus, I'm sure everyone listening is curious as well as I am as to what her opinion of that film Strike a Pose is.
Oh yeah. For sure. I know her camp has expressed their support. but
Okay.
she has not said anything directly about it.
All right,
But okay, so
spill
yeah,
it.
I know. But so back to tour. So Blonde Ambition, I always love Blonde Ambition. Like that's the one concert I wish I had been able to see live. But then in terms of ones I've been to, probably Drown World because it was my first.
You never
Reinvention.
forget it. You never forget your
Yeah.
first.
Right, exactly. Reinvention because that was the first time I got to hear a bunch of like iconic songs that she didn't do on Drown World.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like Vogue and Like a Prayer and
Susan
stuff.
McLeod.
Don't preach.
Yeah. And yeah, Susan McLeod.
Always a fan favorite.
Yeah. And then probably, like I said earlier, Confessions. That's like, if someone was like, what's the best concert you've ever seen? I was fourth row at Confessions at the Staples Center, and it was that.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Oh, a magical moment.
Yeah.
If I could go back in time to one Madonna show, it would be
Confessions. Yeah.
Confessions. Oh, you guys would choose Confessions over
No,
Blonde Ambition?
no, I'm sorry. If I could go back in time to one Madonna concert that I ever attended to, it would be in case our listeners didn't know. I've had the pleasure of dancing on stage with Madonna. in case I've never mentioned it before, I would go back.
We know.
I would go back to that night.
No, I would definitely go back to Confessions. I saw that one twice. The first time I went with friends and we were in, kind of like the mezzanine area. And I said, screw you guys. I'm coming back and I'm going front row. Didn't get front row, but I ended up in like the third row and I was close enough to that disco ball that I could see my reflection on it.
Yeah, I went twice, and the first time I went, it was opening night because she opened that in LA, and her Kabbalah rabbi was in my row.
Oh my God.
Oh, there you go.
I know you heard this in a previous podcast, but the LA show, the first show for Confessions in LA was the first one of the entire tour. And I remember my cousin calling me at 4 a.m. and he's like, she's on a cross. She's wearing a crown of thorns. This is crazy. And I was like, can't wait.
I forgot one important thing on my Madonna journey. I met her once.
What?
Oh my God.
Oh, come on.
Okay. First
right.
of all, that you completely buried the lead here, Michael. This is very disappointing.
I'm sorry.
That should have been the first thing you said.
All right. This is great because we're going to close with that.
Yeah,
so
thanks everybody for listening to the MLVC podcast today. We'll talk to you next week.
No, we would love to hear the story and then we'll wrap it up. That would be amazing.
Okay. Yeah. I'll make it quick.
We saved the best for last.
Sorry. I'm on a one track like concert mind.
No, this is great.
Madame
This is a great way to finish. Yeah.
She was, when she was writing her kids' books, so she had a book signing, she was doing book signings. So she had one in LA for Mr. Peabody's Apples, because I don't think she had one here for English Roses.
Book.
I know, right?
I like that book.
It's actually, I'm Jewish and it's actually based on like a Jewish story like that I learned. I went to Jewish like school. We learned it in school. But anyway, so she was doing a book signing, and this was back in it was in 2003, and I don't even know if I don't even listen to the radio really anymore, but the radio stations here were like used to have these points that you could like accumulate and enter contests with. So I had points, and they were having a contest. I even remember there was 4 radio stations here, including Radio Disney, by the way, that were giving away 250 like tickets each to go to this book signing. And so, I entered like all my points and stuff for the radio station. And then I remember I was even writing back then. I was writing for my high school paper. And I remember I was like, I have to be there even if I don't win. So I remember I reached out to the publisher in high school. I think I was a junior. I reached out to the publishers of the
Callaway
book.
Books?
Yes. And asked them if I could cover it for my high school paper. And they said yes. And so the way the event is that she invited a group of school kids, and then she read the book to them. And then after that was when she was going to meet everyone who won the radio contest and give them their signed book. She was not signing them there. They were pre-signed by her. Yeah. So they gave me credentials to attend the book reading. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to at least be there no matter what. And like, I took some pictures of her at the book reading. But then the night before, I got a call from the radio station that the contest I entered online, that I won that. And so I was actually going to get to meet her and get a signed book, as well as go to the reading thing she was doing.
Right.
And I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. And so since I wasn't 18, they said that I had to have a parent or guardian as my guest. So I brought my mom with me.
Well, of course, because your dad went to Drowned World Tour, so
Right.
mom had to get some love.
It's only fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Also, like, we had to be there in like the middle of the day. So, so my dad couldn't miss work, and my mom is like a teacher. So she just, she got a substitute. But anyway, so, yeah, basically I got to take some pictures of her doing the reading, which I still have. And then there were no pictures for the meet and greet portion, the radio contest. But yeah, I remember she was sitting on a stool. She was like surrounded by like 4 people. Like, you know, I think there was like Liz Rosenberg at the time, her publicist, and then like her manager at the time, and maybe her assistant. Anyway.
Oh, I
so,
see. When you said 4 people, I envisioned it was like just backup dancers or just like hot shirtless men just flanking her.
Yeah. No, I wish.
Sort of like in the
No.
bedtime story performance from her European performance.
Oh yeah. No, it was totally like that in the middle of Borders, Books and Music. But anyway, so I remember she was on a stool, like, you know, on a couple steps up. And so you would like, the line, you know, would stop at the bottom of the steps. And then when she was ready, you would go up and shake her hand, and she'd give you the book. And so I remember I shook her hand, and I remember her hands being very like frail and small and delicate. And so I shook her hand, and then I told her that I've been a fan of her since I was 9. I was a late bloomer, and I also had yellow braces at the time. So I think she thought I was even younger than I was. So when I told her I've been a fan since I was 9, she got very warm and smiley and asked me how old I was. Yeah. And then when I told her I was like 16 or 17, she wasn't as nice after that. Like, I think she thought I was like, 12 or something. But anyway, so, you know, I told her how much she meant to me. And then, my mom, you know, being the pushy Jewish mom that she was, interrupted and tried to, ask Madonna if I could interview her for my high school paper.
Oh, I love your mom.
God bless her. Moms are there trying to help their sons.
And then at that point, then all the people around her were like, "No, I'm sorry, she can't. She doesn't have time." Like, all right, next. You know, so I'm like, I appreciate my mom's effort, but I'm also a little teeny bit resentful that like I could have maybe had another moment with Madonna.
You're like, Mom.
Yeah. But then I remember, I know, right? Gosh, Mom. But then I remember as I was leaving, I shouted at her, "When is the Love Profusion video coming out?" Because that's what was coming out next. And she was like, "Soon." I was like, "Okay, I'm excited." And then that was it. So that was the one time I met her. So I still have I have both copies of Mr. Peabody's Apples, because obviously my mom didn't care about keeping hers. Yeah, I have it like framed, and I have my like press pass in there as well. I can send you a picture if you want.
Please do so.
Sure.
We'll put it on the Instagram page. God, Michael Cooper, that is really cool. I love, as you know, I love Madonna Close Encounters, and that was pretty good.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, that's a once in a lifetime thing that I'm happy I got to do. Like, obviously, if I had my choice of anything for her to sign, Mr. Peabody's Apples wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah.
But I appreciate I have anything signed by her.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be that creepy fan that shows up with like a nude photo of her and you're like, "Please sign this."
No, but I would love her to sign my new coffee table book.
I'd love the coffee table book.
So, Michael, we want to thank you for being on the show. This was such a fun conversation. We'd love to have you on again, and tell everyone where they can find you, where they can read you. You know, not read you, but, you know, read your
No
work.
reading. No reading.
I'm sure they'll read me. I've been read before for some of my articles. Someone one time called me, commented on one of my articles, and they called me Michael Cooper Pooper Scooper.
Oh,
geez.
kind of catchy though.
It's because it was because I didn't love an Ariana Grande concert, and they did.
As a Madonna fan, there's standards set here too, and if you
I know, I mean, I didn't hate it.
Especially Ariana, who should know better because she is a big Madonna fan, you know?
She's got that blonde ambition ponytail forever on her head. So, I mean,
for life.
Yeah, seriously.
my friend joked that she has that because it covers a bald spot.
Oh, I like Ariana.
But
So yeah, where can everyone find you?
yes, so on Instagram and just on Instagram, it's MJ Cooper831, COOPER 831, and then just LAweekly.com. If you search for Time for Tea, you can find my column. I also write stuff not for my column, so like I just did a cover story for last week's issue on Tom of Finland.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's good.
I'll be reading
I bet you
that.
that was good homework.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. It was fun, and it's interesting because I don't know, not to get into this, but they're having all these censorship issues with Instagram and Facebook deleting their posts and their accounts for violating community standards, and
It's so ridiculous.
it's kind of like, and it's kind of like, we went through this already, like with all these other mediums, and now it's like now we have to fight it again for social media because it's like. If there's a picture of a heterosexual couple doing the same thing as a gay couple, the gay one gets taken down and not the heterosexual
Oh, absolutely.
one.
I go through and report heterosexual couples doing stuff on Instagram all the time.
I'm going to start doing that too.
Just for fun.
I don't-
if I see a happy couple picking apples, report.
Yeah.
Because why? It's disgusting.
So go to laweekly.com. You can search for Time for Tea, or I believe you can even search for my name, or you can just Google like LA Weekly Time for Tea or LA Weekly Tom of Finland or whatever.
We're going to promote you on the podcast. Don't you worry, Michael.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, say thank you to Michael Cooper.
Thanks for giving us a little LA fun, a little window into the Wiltern.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. And seriously, thank you so much for doing this. Like, I know you guys also have jobs and stuff. So like, it's really awesome to have this because, you've said it a million times. I can't talk to my friends about this stuff. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a safe space for us Madonna fans. I mean, it's been my dream coming true every week where I get to talk to people and hear these stories. And I love hearing where you've come from and where you're going in your Madonna journey. This is great.
Thank you guys again.
All right, everyone. That is this week's episode. We are very excited for our next one, which will actually be our 25th episode. Can you believe
Get
that?
out of here.
Yeah.
Already?
Quarter life.
Oh my God, how time flies.
So,
How far we've come.
How far we've come. So, yes, you can find us on Luminary, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, and anywhere that podcasts are available.
Oh my God, we're everywhere.
Breathing and living. That's where you'll find us. Also, you can find us on Instagram at MLVC Podcast, and you can reach us through our website, mlvcpodcast.com. Until next time.
I bet Madam X is a podcaster as well.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, we keep asking for her to come on this podcast.
But we'll, we're working towards
one
that.
Day, Madonna.
One day.
One day.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Amazing.
All right, everyone. We'll talk to you guys next time.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us.